I'd like to say that I'm delighted to be introducing Suze at LinkedIn today. She's in Silicon Valley, and we're just thrilled that she made us a stop on her visit while she's touring the Valley. I think most of us are familiar with her work. She offers a very unique and practical perspective on personal finance, and she's helped millions of people get real about their financial health with a mantra that you've probably heard, which is people first, and then money, and then things. Recently, she was the recipient of the Visionary Award from the Council of Economic Education for being a champion of economic empowerment. At LinkedIn, our mission is creating economic opportunity for everybody, for all professionals worldwide. And so we think that there's a great alignment between our mission and what Suze stands for. And so we thought it was, we just think it's great that she's here. Her new book, The Money Class, is #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. And in it, she redefines the American dream. And then she goes into great detail, creating a very actionable roadmap for people who are operating in this new economic reality. So we're happy to have her here. And we're going to show you a short video, and then we'll bring Suze on. Thanks.
This is the place I want you to come when it comes to personal finance.
When you become more powerful, you'll be able to go out there and earn more money. The Suze Orman Show is about stopping the mistakes right now. We gotta get everybody together in the financial bedroom.
Do they show the Suze Orman Show over in Japan?
Yes, ma'am, on Sunday.
I like that. I am asking you to get a grip on reality. I seriously care about your money, but oh no, you obviously don't care about it as much as I do. What are you thinking? I'm a little rambunctious tonight, wouldn't you say?
I got a feeling.
I love you. I just love you.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's the night.
The Emmy goes to
Suze Orman! We all know that Suze does not sugarcoat anything.
This is a want. This is not a need.
Not one to say, I told you so.
Oh, if you had listened to me, you would have made a lot of money.
Personal finance expert, best-selling author,
Suze Orman.
Here at the big board, Suze Orman.
You can just go and do an app. This is like taking a little Suze Orman with you.
Suze, where do you get your jackets? Show me the money. You are so not going to do that, I can't even begin to tell you. Approve. You want to spend what on what? You are denied. You're denied.
Just one more night.
People first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe. I love Lady Gaga.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm really interested in the American dream, and I thought maybe you could tell us a little bit, if the audience walked away with one thing about how the American dream is redefined today, what would you want them to?
Here's what I would want you to know in relationship to what really you do here at this company, as well as the Women of Wise, I will call you, and it's this. People make money. People need a job to make money. And the old American dream went down the drain because they took that money that they made and they became defined by that money. They took that money to buy bigger homes, more cars, more this, more iPhones, iPads, right? And look at all of you with your little gadgets taking pictures, right? Your little computers, your little everything that you have around you. And what happened with the old American dream is you wrote yourself out of the equation. You started to define yourself by the things you had around you versus you decided and defined yourself by your money. And that American dream died, again, as I'm saying, in my opinion, when especially in this area, in California, in Florida, in Nevada, in Arizona, and all over the United States, you lost 10 years of growth in your retirement accounts. You lost the equity in your home. Many of you in this room, I'm sure, owe more money on your home than the home is worth. That's not the American dream. The American dream was one where you worked hard, it gave you security, you were able to sleep at night, and you lived an honest, integrous life. And that is the new American dream that I want you to create and bring back into your life, where you define who you are, your things don't define who you are. When you all get very wealthy shortly, hopefully, because when you do go public, and maybe there will be some instant millionaires in this room or whatever, that you understand that you are respectful of that resource. Just because you can afford to buy something doesn't mean that you do. That you reserve the resources of the United States in terms of its oil, electricity, just because you want to live in, you can afford a 5,000 square foot home or a 25,000 square foot home, buy a 2,000 square foot home. Even though you have a car that's very good after 3 years still, rather than trading it in and getting another one to impress people you don't even know or like at a stop sign next to you. Right? You keep your cars for 10 years. So the new American dream that I'm talking about is a dream that allows you to sleep at night, where what you have is yours for the rest of your life and nobody can ever take it away from you again. It's where you become very self-sufficient. You're not reliant on the economy to save you, the administration to save you, the stock market to save you, the price of real estate to save you. You take the actions today to create the dreams of your tomorrows, and you do that on your own. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a dream that you could have for the rest of your life if you follow what I tell you to do in my new book called The Money Class.
So in that book, you talk about replacing the pleasure of spending with the pleasure of savings. Can you talk a little bit about the pleasure of saving?
Yeah. All of you get such pleasure out of going out and buying a new gadget or new clothes or new shoes or new purse or new makeup or new all kinds of things. You know, cars, boy toys, whatever it is that you buy out there. And there's such, well, you know, I just realized all the things that I was kind of talking about, shoes, it's all women. And if you think women are the only ones who waste money, I'm here to tell you that is not true. Right? Men buy other things, they're just different and they don't get as hard of a rap, and they should, but they don't. But that's all right. But so I would like to turn things around. And the key to creating the new American dream is that you really do get as much pleasure in saving as you do spending. That rather than saying, oh, I can't go out to eat, I can't go on that vacation, I can't buy that thing, rather than saying that, you go, wow, if I don't go out to eat, that gives me an extra $50 or $100 that I could put into my Roth IRA or 401k and everything, and that gives you as much pleasure, if not more, than spending that money and wasting it on something that you probably don't even remember you have because it's on the bottom of your closet, on the ground, covered by all the other stuff that you don't even know you have in there. So it's important. The new American dream is you're really happy to save. You get pleasure out of that. Nothing makes me happier than putting money away towards an investment. And it can happen for you too.
Great. So one of the things you also talk about, it's never too, you're never too young to start planning your retirement, saving for your financial future. LinkedIn's just kicked off a big strategic initiative for students.
Yes.
To use our resources, our professional network, to help them find careers, find their professional paths, and be successful with that. What advice do you have for students entering college and their parents about how they handle this environment where they're racking up this huge amount of debt for school, and they get out and they can't get a job, and that debt hangs around forever?
Yeah. Probably how many of you in this room actually still have student loan debt? Can you raise your hands? A few of you. And how many of you have those student loan debts in deferral? Any of you? Few of you. Biggest mistake you're making. The absolute biggest mistake that you're making. Please listen to me closely, everybody. There is only one loan, and one loan out there, that can never be, in most cases, discharged in bankruptcy. And that is known as a student loan. Those companies just love They love when you graduate college and you decide, because you can't find this job, that they're going to allow you to defer your payments or do forbearance on your payments, and therefore you decide, I'll take advantage of that and I'll spend the money that I'm making on my food, my rent, and all these other things and going out, and you just let that student loan be where it is. Big mistake. I want you to think about this. You're late on your credit card payments. They are on you with, as fast as you know. You don't pay your property taxes. You don't pay this. They come after you. They want their money. Why do you think it is that student loans allow you to get your payments deferred? They want you to defer those payments because they know that the interest that you will have to pay them on those payments is more than they could make on the money themselves if you were to pay them back and they had to invest it. So they are letting their return compound at 6.8%, 7.9%, 8.1%, depending what kind of loans you have. And if you have a private student loan, now you could be having them compound at 16, 18, or 19%. Which is when a student loan then goes from $20,000 to $40,000 to $80,000 to $160,000, and when it is at $200,000, oh, you will hear from them. They can come after you, garnish your wages. They can garnish your Social Security checks. You cannot get out of a student loan. What can you get out of? You can even get out of IRS debt. Did you know that? You owe the IRS money, and if you do it properly, you can get out of IRS debt by claiming it in bankruptcy. You can get out of credit card debt, home mortgage debt, car loan debt. You can get rid of all of that. But student loan debt, oh, that's yours forever. So it needs to be the one debt that you really pay immediately while you're in school, after school. And it is essential to answer your question that while you are in high school, everybody in high school, before they go into college and take out more student loans or take out their first student loans, should do a simple exercise. You're going to college to become what? What will that career actually pay you? You should have that on the site.
Yep.
So you have that on the site and you go, oh, I'm going to make $50,000 a year doing this. Then you should be able to, and you should have this now, which you don't have, is after taxes, that $50,000 equates to this. Now they know they're not making $50,000 because they don't understand taxes. I just spoke at Dominican University yesterday, and I am telling you, a student stood up and said she doesn't understand taxes, she doesn't know what they are. And you may laugh at that, but these kids aren't working yet. And there was a time that you didn't understand taxes, and you thought you were going to be making such and such working for this company or wherever you're working right now. And when you got your paycheck, do you remember looking in and going, what are you talking about?
I still do.
What are you talking about? I thought I was going to be making $5,000 a month, and I'm bringing home $2,000 a month after your 401k contribution, after FICA, after this, after that. You're at nothing. But you thought you were going to be making $5,000. So if you could have a system that this is what, if you make this, this is what you will take home after everything is taken out after taxes. From that, you now have to subtract your rent, your car payment, your credit card payments if you're in credit card debt, your food, your utilities, your this and your that, and that leaves you X amount of money left. That is the amount of money that you therefore will go towards what? Your student loan payment. Then you should have a thing on site that says if you have this much money left, that equates to this much of a student loan at max that you can take out. That is the school you should go to. If you can't go to school for that figure, then go to community college and save that money, because there is nothing more powerless than when you get out of school, you owe this money on student loan debt, you want to work for a great company, but they're not paying you enough to pay that off, so you then go take another job, and you just ruin your entire life. If you could figure that out and put that on site as part of this whole thing, bingo, we hit.
Great. Fantastic.
Wait, before you go on, aren't you surprised to see I'm exactly like that video you just saw? And I do a better imitation of Kristen Wiig imitating me than she can do of me, which is, Susie, where do you get your jackets?
Okay. So when you think about the economic recovery, hopefully, that we're in now, what can businesses like LinkedIn do to support the recovery?
You could encourage people to understand the recovery is not going to save them. That they have to take this information and understand that Washington and everybody else out there needs you to think everything is getting better so that you spend money that you don't have, which helps the economy recover even more. But we have a challenge out there. And the big challenge is this, which is why this service is so important. And it goes to the tune of the word productivity. Do you all know what that word means? Productivity is, today, corporations are as productive as they have ever been before. So the 20 million jobs that were lost out there are probably 20 million jobs that are most likely never going to come back again. And they're not going to come back again because the corporations that got rid of all those people are as productive without them as they were with them. So there's no reason to hire them back. And that is where you start to need to become creative as to who can use your services. Don't sit there thinking if you were making $200,000 a year 2 years ago that you're going to enter again at $200,000 a year and start from there. So if you could get realistic on what is available out there, what will you be paid to be out there, and work within that realm, then you can start being more realistic. Now, I'm here to tell you, it's great to be connected. It's great that people are looking at your resumes, that you're creating all this. But then it sometimes comes down to you have to personally interview with these companies. And these companies are going to be looking for somebody who is powerful, is dynamic, and is an employee that will enhance the corporation, not diminish it. What makes you the most powerful person in the world? When you understand your worth, you aren't in credit card debt. You don't have to be afraid of them checking your FICO score because your FICO score is good. And so you walk in there knowing that you're an enhancement to their corporation because you are the powerful person that you are meant to be. Money plays a very important role in you being powerful. Everybody, you will never be powerful in life until you are powerful over your own money. How you think about it, how you feel about it, and what you do with it. Debt is bondage. You cannot be powerful if you are in bondage. So if we could also teach on your sites the ability to be powerful with the money you have, powerful with the money that you don't have, powerful with every financial action that you take, then you are also creating a site where you're giving people the information they need and the psychological and financial background to complete the entire picture.
Mm-hmm. Great. So, we have this group here today. A lot of you are interested in opening your own businesses. What's some of the advice that you have for people?
Yeah. Don't open a business unless you know how to open a business. Don't think that the answer, I'm serious about this, in the career chapter, career class, in the money class, I go into great detail about this. The answer to not being able to find a job is to just simply open up a business because you don't know what else to do. The answer to not being able to find a job is not going back to school to take out student loan debts to figure out a career because you will get hired after you get another degree. You won't. The answer is knowing who you are and what you want to do, and do you have the money to do it or not. The advice would be you are not to take equity out of your home if you have equity in your home, to open up your own business. Leave the equity in your home. Excuse me. It's not to take money out of your retirement account to open up a business. You either have working capital, you've gotten a loan from the SBA, you know that you have a profit and loss statement, this is a passion that you've had, you've tried it on a small level before you go and investing all your money into doing so. So I think the answer to the future is entrepreneurship and starting your own business. I think that will really come to play. It might be even great if the site had good manuals as to how you do that. So, but do not make the mistake. I can't find, and this happens all the time on the Suze Orman Show. We get 10,000 emails a week. And here are the ideas that come in. Suze, I've been looking for a new job for the past 2 years. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take money out of my 401k plan, and I am going to open up a candy store. And they do it. And then they've lost all their money in their 401k. They had to pay the penalties to take it out. And they didn't know how to run a business. They didn't do their profit and loss statements. They didn't have 1 year of working capital, and they lost it all. And that's not a very sweet thing for a candy shop. So be very careful if you're going to open up your own business. You better be good at the business that you're opening up. It better have been something that you wanted to do always while you had a job, not, just figuring it out. And you better have the money behind you to do it. Otherwise, it's better to do nothing than to do something you don't understand.
Okay.
Do you think I could just say anything like a normal human being? I don't think so.
So the mantra, people first, then money, then things. Can you unpack that a little bit? What do you really mean by that?
You know, when I created that, I have to tell you, it was for the women in this room. Men understand very well, and this is a compliment, truthfully, to the men here, because we should all be like them in this regards. Men understand very well that they have to take care of themselves before they take care of anything else. It's true. And I envy them for that. And I mean that. You know when you're on an airplane and they say to you, if the oxygen mask falls down, please put it on your on your face first before your children's. Ladies, they're talking to us. Not the men. The men would know to put it on their face first. Right? But as women, we have the ability to give birth. We feed, in most cases, we feed that which we have given birth to. It is our nature to give and give and give. We do not know how to take. So women will take care of their children, their parents, their brothers, their sisters, their employers, their employees, their pets, and their plants before they will think about taking care of themselves. So when I said people first, I wanted women to get, you ladies, you have got to give to yourself first. You can't go co-signing a loan for your kid to take out a loan for a car when you yourself have credit card debt. You can't fund a child's college education when you haven't funded your retirement account first. So when I meant people first, I meant you. After you have to have money before you can buy things. But most people have more things in their closet and their home than money in their bank account, and that is the wrong order. So it's take care of you first, put yourself first, then make sure you have money. And when you have money to buy things, you can buy things, and that is the correct order of a financial life.
Okay, great.
You should see your little eyes every time I finish. I don't know if you get a close-up of this, but she kind of looks like... And then she moves in her chair like this, and she goes, okay, the next one.
Next question.
Am I exhausting you?
No, not at all.
Just thought, all right.
Not at all.
I've been interviewed by them all, and it's like...
Better.
You're the best.
No.
Yeah, you're the best.
No.
That's true. I was lying. All right,
yeah,
go on.
I know. All right, so the basic question, what's the biggest mistake that people make with their personal finances?
They don't get involved with it. Here's what I find so fascinating about many of you in this room. You have jobs that are so complicated. You're programming these computers. You're writing all the stuff in a language that nobody can understand. You have brains that are this big when it comes to your jobs and your careers, and then your brain becomes the size of a little pea when it comes to your money. And I don't get why that happens to you, but it does. So the biggest mistake that you make is thinking somebody else knows how to invest your money better than you do. And I'm here to tell you, nobody knows how to invest your money better than you. Nobody. You want to find the best financial advisor in the world? Look in the mirror, peeps. Because you will care about your money more than anybody else. I'd like you to think about Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff lost billions of dollars for people. Many of the customers of Bernie Madoff were some of the top financial advisors in the United States of America today. You would go to that financial advisor turned around and gave your money via him to Bernie to invest, and he got credit or she got credit for the returns when it was really with Bernie Madoff. Now, if you think that the financial advisors couldn't understand that Bernie Madoff was a doofus, which he was, and it was easy to just look at him and go, are you kidding? I'm not touching this man with a 10-foot pole. But all these other financial advisors did. Are you sure that they know what to do with your money? Are you positive? Would you know if you're getting ripped off, being charged fees that you don't need to pay, and put your money in investments? Here's how I can tell you you're getting taken. If any of you in this room are using financial advisors, and you happen to own a variable annuity, a whole life insurance policy, your money is in bond funds, you have a universal life or a variable life or a variable annuity, I'm here to tell you, you are so being ripped off by your financial advisor, it's not even funny. Does anybody in this room have any of those investments?
How would they know?
Stand up, sir. I said, sir, ma'am, I can't see. Stand up back there. They won't do it?
Scared. Oh.
They told me to be honest.
Well, of course, be honest. Hold this.
My brother-in-law's my financial advisor.
I have no doubt. I was just about to ask him before he said that, what relative in your family suckered you into an investment? What investment did they sucker you into?
Pretty much all you covered, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. All right, now, how does that make you feel when I say that to you?
I got to check with my financial advisor and tell him he's wrong, but...
No. You don't check with your financial advisor and tell him he's wrong. You check with yourself and understand why would you have given your money to a financial advisor that is wrong? Because you didn't know another financial advisor, and the easiest thing to do was give it to your brother-in-law because it would have started, you're married, right?
Yeah, but it's my sister who's...
Your sister, okay. But it would have caused problems with your sister. Because your sister needs to pay her bills, and the best way for her to pay her bills is to sucker in all her family members to give them all their money so that she can pay her mortgage payment. Does she drive a fancier car than you?
No comment.
There you go, boyfriend. You're making me work for my money here. So I just want to tell you something. You own a variable annuity? Yeah. You obviously do not watch the Suze Orman show. All right? So the point of that being, do you know if you gave your brother-in-law, just let's say $50,000 there, he probably made $3,500 in his pocket from that variable annuity. If you have a whole life insurance policy or a variable life insurance policy with him, do you? Oh, Jesus. Right. All right. Right. And how much per month do you pay? Enough. So let's just say it's $6,000 a year. He made $5,400 the first year on you, sir. Whole life insurance, variable life insurance, universal life insurance is the biggest ripoff out there. Now, to stand up here and talk to you about insurance, I really need to be licensed in every single state. I hated those investments so much that I got licensed in every single state except Hawaii, so I could tell you exactly what I think of those investments. Now, I've just got to finish this. You will go back to your brother-in-law, and you'll tell him that, and he'll say, oh, what does Suze Orman know? Right? I know 10 times more than he does, and if I were you, here's what I would do. You should go and get, if you even need insurance, you should go to Select Quote right here in the Bay Area. Fabulous. Get a quote, and whether you should get $1 million or $2 million, it is 7 to 10 times more expensive, your premium for whole life, than what term life would be. So you could have $2, $3, $4 million worth of insurance for pennies, $25, $50, $100 a month. So go to Select Quote, get a 20, how old are you? Do you think maybe I'm older than you? Do you think I'm older than you? No, you're 29. Yeah. Wait. Shall we bet who's older? Do you think he's older than me or I'm older than him? He's older. You think he's older? How old are you really? No comment. Right. I will be 60 in June. Am I older or younger than you? And now you know why he was able to be taken by his brother-in-law, because all he does is, whatever. You got that? Move down. Whatever. Get your term insurance in place. Cancel your whole life. Variable life insurance, and you probably even own it in your variable annuity. You probably own it in an IRA, which makes it even worse. You better read one of my books. What else can I tell you? Sorry, I got a little carried away there. But did all of you just learn something in that moment?
Yes.
Right? You know.
So one more question, then I want to open it up to the audience. My daughter is a freshman in college. She's a mechanical engineer. She's great at math. And she called me up and she said, you know, I'm taking the most advanced calculus at my school, and I can't find a single class or piece of information that the university offers about personal finance. She's like, nothing. How do we improve this in schools? How do we get financial education into colleges?
Yeah, I've tried to do that. I've tried to do that so much I can't tell you. And there's so much bureaucracy, it's not even funny. So you work with what you know versus trying to change the impossible to change. Mm-hmm. And so every single one of you, including you have to give the financial education that your children should have in schools right in their own home before they go away to school and they get corrected. In the money class, there is a chapter on families. Important. How do you talk to your kids about money? How do you talk to your spouses and life partners about money? How do you talk to your parents about money? Because eventually your parents are going to become your children again, whether you know it or not. And this conversation and certain things has to start. The word allowance needs to go out the window. Kids need to learn that if they want money, they have to do work for their pay. The whole system has to change. But what you all do is you turn your kids over to teachers who get paid less money than almost any profession out there. They spend all these hours with these teachers that are barely struggling to get by themselves. Do you understand? And the whole system is just absolutely nuts. Kids do not listen to what you say. Kids do what you do. So the best teacher you can be to your kids is talk to them, get them involved in your bills. As soon as they can talk, start talking to them about money. Make that an everyday conversation with them, get them involved with everything, and give them the education that they need before they go away to college. Because I'm here to tell you they are not going to get it in college. Not going to get it in college. Not going to get it in college. And even Miss Orman can't change that. For some reason, they don't want our kids to be educated with what they really need to know. I don't get it.
Yeah. Great. Any questions from the audience? We have a mic in the center. If anybody would like to come up and ask questions.
I'll be the brave first
one.
I
thought either you really had to go to the bathroom or you had a question.
No, first of all, let me just say it's an honor to meet you in person. I'm so proud of you and so happy for you because you make women proud universally.
Thank you.
So just had to say that first. First question.
Wait, before you go on, men, do I make you proud as well? You know, my name is Suze Orman.
Good point.
I'll let you play with that one.
Oh my God. So my first question, and please forgive me, I've been in motherhood land for a little while here, but I was listening to Oprah talking with Ayala Von Sant and how she lost everything and such. And I remember one of the advice she said was, or something she talked about, how people go out and the first thing they buy is a house when they've made it from the thousandaire status to the millionaire status, and how that was the wrong thing to do. And I'm wondering, why is it wrong in terms of buying a house? And even if it's the 2,000 square foot, not the 5,000 square foot, right? Yeah. So why is that wrong? Is there something in terms of taxes that first year when you get that infusion of millions that you shouldn't buy something of that nature? That's my first question. And then the second question, my son is 4, and he just got a lot of stuff for his birthday party. So I'm going to take...
You bought him a lot of stuff for his birthday party?
No. Oh, no. Mm-mm.
What does that mean, he got a lot of stuff?
We have friends that came to the party.
They all showered him with gifts.
Exactly.
That's great.
But, you know, my whole thing is, he's 4, he knows how to talk, so I want to take him to the bank and open up a bank account, and he's going to put all that stuff in a bank account and learn how to, you know...
So when you say he got stuff, does that mean he got money?
Yes, he got money.
You call money stuff?
No, he got a lot of toys, he got a lot of gift cards that I'm going to turn into money, and then he got some money.
Can you take the toys back to the stores and exchange them for money?
I'm going to think about that too.
I bet you are. All right, so let me just quickly answer your question, or you'll take up our whole time with the
That's it, just those 2 questions, and I'm going to sit down.
All right. So here's the thing, everybody. Let's talk about real estate for 1 second and what I think about real estate. Jan Van Zandt is a very, very good friend of mine. She just blew her money because she didn't just buy a house, she bought a mansion. She bought a building. She did so many stupid things, it's not even funny, so let's not think about her for now. But in the money class, there is a class on real estate. You should all read it, and I'm serious about that. When you get a large sum of money, or even if you don't have a large sum of money, the new American dream is not about buying a home that you cannot afford. You know you can afford a home when you can put at least 20% down, you have an 8-month emergency fund besides, you can afford a 15 or 30-year fixed rate mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance on the house, and you got a steal of a deal. In my opinion, real estate has not stopped going down. The foreclosures stopped for a little bit because of what happened in November and December of last year. So the stats are reading falsely that foreclosures are now going down versus going up. Very shortly here, you should see them rise again. And it is not unlikely that we could be hit with another 10 or 20% decline in terms of real estate. And it will be years before real estate ever returns again. The reason that you need a steal of a deal, and please listen to me on this, you are not to look at a house that's now $500,000 now and it was $1 million 3 years ago, so you think you are getting a great deal. No. If you have a house that's $500,000 now, and the house next to you is $500,000, the house over here is $500,000, and you think it's all great, it's not. A steal of a deal is if these houses are $500,000, then you want this house to be $400,000 that you want to buy. Why do I want you to buy a house for a steal of a deal versus these prices here? I'll tell you why. What determines the price of this real estate around you? It's what it got sold at. The comps. So here you have somebody next door to you. You don't know what they're doing in their house. Are they behind on their payments? Are they about to go into foreclosure? Did the people just die? And now their children have inherited this home, and the children can't afford the payments on this home, so they're willing to sell it for anything. They come on the market, and the kids now have this house, and they see, oh, houses are selling for $500,000, but they're not moving. Let's put this house on the market for $400,000. It gets sold. Your house now is worth $400,000 just like that. Did you all follow that? So you better get a steal of a deal. Otherwise, you may very well find yourself underwater in your home. Why do I want you to have an 8-month emergency fund besides the 20% to put down? And it's this reason. December 31st, 2012. A tax law that has been protecting you changes. Right now, you buy a house, let's say it's $500,000, and let's just say you did an FHA loan, and you only put 3.5% down, so you have essentially a $500,000 mortgage on this home. And now your next door neighbor sells for $400,000, and now your house is worth $400,000. All right, now you're working, all of a sudden, a recession hits again, and you've lost your job. And you don't have an 8-month emergency fund. Now you're going to find yourself in a situation that you can't make the payments on your home, and they will foreclose on you starting in the next few years when they've straightened out all the paperwork like that. Now, they take it from you, or you do a short sale where you sell it for $400,000, you owe $500,000, listen closely, you're short $100,000 of what you owe the bank. Starting in January 1st, 2013, you are going to owe income tax on that $100,000 if it's your primary residency. You already owe income tax on it if it is a rental property and you do a short sale or a foreclosure on that property. You do not want to find yourself in that situation. So you are only to buy a home so that you can have an American dream, the new one that you can keep. If you put 20% down to protect that 20% down, you want to make sure that you have the 8-month emergency fund to carry the payments on it if you get sick, fired, or lose your job for whatever reason. That makes sense to everybody? So if you now come into a big sum of money, just simply do this. Buy what you can afford. Let me say it this way. You are to buy what you need versus what you can afford, because you most likely will be able to afford more than what you need. The largest home that I have is like 2,200 square feet. That is it. Now, in 1998, my book, 9 Steps to Financial Freedom, hit. It was the #1 selling book in the entire United States of nonfiction hardback books. I made so much money, it's not even funny. And it's true. And well, you can do the math on it. If a book sells 3 million copies and I'm making $4 a book, I had a very good year that year. And so after everything was done and all, I could have gone to New York City and bought a penthouse on Park Avenue or multi-million-dollar penthouse. I didn't need that. I chose to buy a 1-bedroom, 900 square foot apartment on 57th Street that cost me $240,000. And that was all I needed. I lived in that apartment in New York City till about a year or two ago when I, moved out to someplace else, because then I joined my life with KT, and that apartment was too little for us, so we moved somewhere else that was larger for us. But still, we moved to a 1,275 square foot apartment versus a 900 square foot one. Got it? You are to buy what you need versus what you can afford if you can afford more than what you need. If you always just buy your needs, then you have saved the environment, you're saving the world, not as much oil, not as much electricity, and not as much payments out of your pocketbook. Smaller is better always. How you doing over there?
I'm doing great.
Oh, good. Sometimes I worry about
Just in your thrall. Okay, next question.
Hi. So I've actually been taking your advice for years, and I have I've read your book, Young, Fabulous, and Broke, not broke anymore. So really what I want to know is what 2 pieces of advice or 1 or 2 pieces of advice could you give for somebody like me, not married, no kids, I own property, it's out of state, no debt. What can I do with my money to kind of take it to the next level?
Mm-hmm. Are you contributing to the 401k plan here?
Yes, and I actually have, from changing employers, see, this is where I'm a little spread out. I do have money in a couple different 401ks. I have some mutual funds, through Vanguard, some things that are short-term investments, some things that are long-term.
And do you feel like you have a good grasp on how to invest that money?
50-50.
50-50. So you need to get a good grasp on how to invest that money and look all your money at once. Do you have money in a Roth IRA?
Yes.
Right.
2, actually 2.
2 Roth IRAs. So you're kind of spread about.
I think I'm too spread out.
The house that you have, is this a house that you're going to stay in for the rest of your life?
No, it's actually in Indiana. It's not here. It's a rental property right now where I'm not making any income on it.
So here's what you just need to do. You need to keep investing and putting your money away. How old are you right now? Oh, Jesus Christ.
38.
Don't sit there and tell me it's hard to tell everybody you're 38 when I'm going to be 60 in June. Okay. Can you just do me that favor, girlfriend?
Yes,
and I don't even know you. I'm apt to tell you to do something wrong with your money just to get back at you.
No. Please don't. I've bought your books. I read Oprah every month. Please don't.
Here's what I would do, right? I have a newsletter.
Okay.
And in the newsletter, it just came out, it's called the Money Navigator. And in the newsletter, I tell you, this is brand new, it's the first time I've ever done this, and let me complete this before you start judging me. That newsletter sells on my site for like $63 a year or whatever. And in that newsletter, it tells you, how many years you're away from retirement. 20 years away from retirement, here are the ETFs you should buy, or here are the no-loan mutual funds you should buy, or here's how you should invest your money in a 401k plan, or all of it. So because all of you were kind enough to invite me here today, if you go to SuzeOrman.com, and I know we're Ustreaming this, so for those who are smart enough to be watching us on Ustream right now, right? If you go to SuzeOrman.com and you look at where it says Money Navigator on the left-hand side, if you click on it, it will ask you for a gift login code that says that I gave to you. If you do the words, let's make one up, and I'll have it activated for you tomorrow. Let's say you do the word, what should we do? What should we make the password?
LinkedIn.
All right. You put the word LinkedIn in, right? What, I can't say it, right? But anyway, I don't know who thought of that name, but it's not easy to pronounce, right? But that's all right. So if you put that in, starting tomorrow, you can all download and every month for the next year, get that for free. Right? And then you'll know what to do with your money. By the way, all of you, especially in California here, you need not only a will, but a living revocable trust as well. So when you're on the website, under must-have documents, if you put that passcode in again, what is it? LinkedIn, whatever, right? Right, but you know, if you do that, you'll be able to download $2,500 worth of state-of-the-art wills and trusts and everything for free, as well as on Ustream as well. I will let it stay live for 1 week. And after 1 week from tomorrow, that passcode is no longer going to be good. So either you act on it or you lose, people. That's what you should do.
Thank you, Suze.
Hi, Susie. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Why aren't there any other guys up here?
Because they're all chicken like that one back in the back there.
Come on, guys.
The Money Navigator.
So I have two questions. I just sold a house. I didn't want to buy another one because I don't know what's going to happen with the real estate market. I don't know about the capital gains tax changes, so I want to know about that. And also, I have a financial advisor. I don't own anything you mentioned, thank God. But I did that because I'm not a financial expert. I guess I should become a financial expert. And to me, that's someone else's area of expertise, and it's overwhelming to me to think about all the things I could do, and I'm afraid of making a mistake.
What do you do here?
I'm the head of sales recruitment.
All right. And so that takes brains as to how to do that, right? So I'm assuming you have a brain.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure because you never know.
Right.
Right. Well, and I won't tell you the story I'm about to tell you because we're Ustreaming. All right. So anyway, yes, I have to monitor some of these things because I never know who's watching. Does your broker work for a major firm?
Pretty big.
Pretty big. Do you know how much you pay your broker to give?
0.5% of the total value.
And do you own mutual funds or individual stocks?
Mutual funds. I chose a few hand-picked stocks. Mm-hmm. Most of it's mutual funds.
All right. Here's what I have a problem with.
What?
Within every single mutual fund, you have a portfolio manager, the person who decides what stocks to buy and what stocks to sell. Every mutual fund has an expense ratio. That expense ratio goes to pay for the portfolio advisor to do his stuff. Mm-hmm. You are paying your broker 0.5% to do absolutely nothing. They have picked the mutual funds, but the one who's really doing the work for you is the portfolio manager within the mutual fund.
How would I know which mutual fund to pick?
So if you didn't know which mutual fund to pick, you could now, with the Money Navigator newsletter that you now have, this is what it looks like printed out. Right. It will give you a list of every no-loan mutual fund that you could do on your own. It will give you a list of all the exchange-traded funds. If you're 20 years from retirement, it will tell you which to do. If you're 5 to 20 years from retirement, it will tell you which ones to do. When I want you out of the stock market in 2012, which I have a feeling I'm going to, it will tell you to come out of the stock market as well. It will tell you what to do in your 401k plans, because it's got that. It will tell you what to do with real estate, gold, and everything that you are to do. What concerns me is if you were to pay a registered investment advisor a fee I don't have a problem, but they should be picking individual stocks for you, and you should not be in the stock market unless you have at least $100,000 or more to put into the stock market, so you own 20 stocks with that $100,000. I don't know, I have a hard time paying an investment advisor to buy mutual funds for me. I just don't get it.
He's done really well. It's grown year after year. I mean,
year after year for the past 2 years?
No, 50. Actually, I've been with him for about 15 years. So it's
and
grown.
What has been your average rate of return?
That I don't know.
Oh, get out of here.
But that's the point. When it gets into choosing the mutual funds and should it be diversified, you know, that's.
Well, how can you say he's done well for you if you don't know the return?
The money keeps going up.
Do you continue to put money into it too?
I did track that, how much I put in versus how much it grew, and it was exponentially more.
So is it more than 5% a year, 10% a year?
That I don't. I mean, it's changed over the years, but it's been good.
So here's the thing: if you're happy with him,
it's peace of mind.
If you have peace of mind and you trust him, stay with him. It's just that simple. There are great ones out there. You just have to know if they're great or not.
Right. And then the tax on capital gains tax for homes?
Yeah, for homes, capital gains tax currently are 15%. The first $500,000, if you own that house with somebody, if you've owned it 2 out of the past 5 years as your primary residency, you won't have to pay taxes on. I doubt, did you make more than $500,000 on your home? Okay, good, no. So do you own it with somebody else? You did at the time. When you sold it, did you? All right, so the first $500,000 plus all your improvements and everything, and it costs to sell, and whatever's left after that, 15% at this point in time.
Great. Do we have time for another question, or do you want to wrap it up? One more question. One-part question.
Listen, girlfriend, you were next at the microphone. Don't look around as if somebody has a more important question than you, okay?
Yes.
People first, get up there and ask me your question. The rest of you just sit down.
Okay, so as a first-time home buyer, of course, real estate agents say, yes, you're a great buyer, great time to buy. I know you've given suggestions in terms of how much to save, savings. My husband and I just got married. We feel like the next step is buying a house.
Yes.
What do you suggest in terms of a first-time home buyer really knowing when to take the next step and...
When you can afford to take the next step. Again, I ask you to venture into this book and read the real estate class because it explains it to you very clearly. You don't have to buy the book. If you have credit card debt, don't go buying my book so I can get you in more credit card debt. Just go to the damn library and take it out, okay?
Thank you.
Right. But you cannot ask another question. You sit down. No, I don't care. Right. So it's like, you're not manipulating me here. I'm a powerful woman. Right? But to finish that question for the woman that was up here, listen, I'm not opposed to you buying a home, but you have to get a steal of a deal today because it is possible that real estate could continue down more. It's probably probable that it will continue down more. So you just don't want to be in a position where you're buying a home because you think it's a great deal, and before you know it, you're down 10 or 20% already when real estate is this expensive, and it's still, even though it's down, very expensive in the Bay Area. So what are you looking at, my shoe? Do you like the bottom of it? Okay, no problem. Right. I don't miss anything. I really don't. Are you surprised that I knew that's what you were doing when I was in the middle of answering a question? Yes, okay, no problem. But so just know that you can afford it. And if I was a couple buying a house together, I would want to know that I could afford the mortgage payment based on one income versus based on two in case something happened to one of you. Prepare for the worst still. We're going to be going through this until at least the year 2015 or longer. You know, I wrote a book where I said in 2008, this is going to happen until 2015. And in 2008, everybody said, oh, Susie, it'll be over in 2010. You're so pessimistic. Well, here we are in the middle of 2011, and we aren't anywhere closer to solving it than we were in 2008. We've quieted everything down because we've thrown trillions of dollars at it, and here we are, and let's see what happens in June after QE2 is up. Mm-hmm.
Well, great. Thank you very much for coming. I think we've all got a lot of homework to do.
Yeah. Listen, I just want to leave you with this. It's great out there if you know how to work with the details of what's happening. You can find jobs, you can create wealth, you can do anything, but don't go counting on other people to make the decisions with your bills, your bucks, and your pennies. Do you hear me? They're your financial children, and you have to take care of them just as well as if they were your really kids that you gave birth to or were part of giving birth to. You can do that here. If you can help the world find jobs, if you can help the world connect each other in every way that you possibly can, if you can help the world grow businesses the way that you are, don't tell me that the people behind this great corporation cannot find time and the brain power to take care of their own lives. Use your passcode. 1 week from tomorrow, it goes away.